Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host, Jarrod.
No, I'm Edwina.
And if you listen to this is our You're Watching That Again movie review podcast. Today, we are doing a special movie review. Well, we didn't pick this one out of the hat. This is a tribute to the late Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yes.
The 2000 film Eurotrip, Eddie.
Yes.
Eurotrip.
So this was my pick because I love this movie.
Oh, fair enough. So starring Scott Malkovich, I don't know, Jacob Pitts, Michelle Trachtenberg, Travis Wester, Kristen Kirk, and a slew of other little cameos we got in there as well.
Yeah, we'll go through that later.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're going to do a warning first. You haven't seen this film, Eddie?
Okay, yeah, warning. This is a full spoiler podcast. If you haven't seen the movie, please come back when you have. We are discussing our favourite movies and we have seen way too many times and why we love them.
Well, I don't know about my favourite movie and too many times on this one, but anyway.
I've definitely watched this way too many times.
Okay, fair enough. So first impressions, well, I'll start with me. So I think I have seen this before. I honestly can't remember. It's been such a long time, and I think I just kept getting confused with Road Trip. But I definitely do remember. I think I do remember seeing it mainly because of all the Vinnie Jones scenes. Just seems so familiar. I know, just English guys screaming. Just reminds me of days gone past. Rewatching it again. Yeah, it was okay. I didn't really find it that funny. There was a few moments, but to be honest, I thought it was pretty meh. For watching it this time. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. What about you, Eddie?
Oh, look, I liked it. I really do like this movie. I've got a soft little nostalgia place in my heart for this movie. I think I hired this on DVD years ago. I think it was before we were about to do our first trip to Europe, or just after we had done our first trip to Europe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2005, I think, the first.
Or maybe it was.
This came in 2004, so well.
Yes, maybe it was. Yeah, it might have been just before.
Okay. Yeah.
But they go to a lot of the places that we went to as well.
Well, they do and they don't. They go in front of a green screen a lot.
Which is why they go to a lot of places that we went to, which made it blaringly obvious that these are absolutely not shot anywhere near those places.
The thought of having nostalgia of seeing Europe again was crushed in that moment when I saw him walk in front of the green screen. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're actually not going to see these places. They're just going to be backgrounds. Like,
I think they even use a bit of stock footage in there as well. Look, this is an extremely low budget movie.
It had to
Extremely
be.
low budget. But the funny thing is, it was all filmed in Prague, and like they kind of make fun of it in the movie that it's like really quick and easy to get to all of these places. But yeah, Prague is right bang in the middle of Europe. It wouldn't have been that difficult to actually...
you got to ship one over, so
Yeah, but you've also got to pay for permits and
catering and accommodation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just do it all in one city.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, same?
Yeah, same. Look, I think some of the hot tub scene always pissed me off. Mainly because I wanted it to stay on the band. So, yeah, there's like a few gratuitous kind of scenes. But, yeah, I think you could easily just remove that. Like it's...
I could leave it in, I think. That's fine.
No, it's kind of... I think that's probably the trashiest scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. Oh, what does he say? Is your chest itchy or something silly like that?
No, it was like you've got something on your top. Yeah. It's like you've got a smudge or something.
Yeah, gross. All right, yeah, it was
But yeah,
gross.
so yeah, Eurotrip probably falls into that teen sex comedies of the early 2000s. So, it was out sort of at the same time as, your American Pies. Like, I think how many have they did? Like
three or four of those,
they did
I think.
3 or 4 of those, and then there was some spin-offs. Another movie that comes to mind is that Van Wilder Party Liaison.
Yeah.
You already mentioned Road Trip.
I'm going to mention it again too. Just a heads up on that.
Probably Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is probably another one.
Yeah, maybe Dude, Where's My Car as well.
Yeah.
It's more of your stoner films.
Yeah, probably The Girl Next Door is another one. But I think this was probably one of the last of the teen sex comedies that were made. But even the movie Not Another Teen Movie is like a teen sex comedy as well.
Yeah. Well, I think it was more directed at the fraternity sort of school, films that came out in recent years and making fun of those.
Yeah.
But it incorporated a lot of these films in those. In that
Well, it
film.
came out in 2004, so yeah, it did.
I think it pretty much almost referenced every single one of those
Well,
movies
it
we said.
it didn't really references American. No, it doesn't reference American. Oh, yes, it does reference American Pie.
Yeah.
But it does all teen movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we'll do not another. I'm pretty sure not another teen movie is actually.
Is it in there? In the hat?
I think it's in the hat.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can't wait till we do that.
All right. It's a big hat, though. I don't know if we'll ever get through all of them. We'll try.
Look, Michelle is excessively sexualized in this movie.
It's funny because they find her as frumpy and ugly until she takes her top off, and when she's wearing a bikini, like, oh my god, she's actually attractive. Like, you think? Really?
It's that thing where she's constantly going throughout the movie, I'm a girl. I'm a girl. Like, that's kind of the joke, is that she's there with like these three guys that do not see her as a girl.
Yeah. And even like when she bends over to pick something, like, oh, look at that girl over there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, it's her?
No,
I've never seen her ass before.
It's weird that they don't really sexualize her until a bit later on. But when they're marketing this movie, I should say, on the so there's a version of this movie called X-rated, and it's a version. It's pretty much a director's cut, so it's got all the cut scenes.
Yeah.
And on the cover of that, it's pretty much Michelle taking her bikini top off with the X-rated across it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Though I believe she was asked to do a nude shot, but she refused.
yes.
Good on
and
her.
I can see why she would refuse.
Good on her.
Yes, and she has every right to refuse. And this is why they don't make teen sex comedies anymore, is because you cannot get away with that gratuitous.
It seemed
nudity.
excessive, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked it. All right.
Of course you do. You're a perv.
Yeah, I know. All right, let me do the summary and we'll get back to it, all right?
Yeah.
In Hudson, Ohio, Scotty Thomas is dumped by his girlfriend, Fiona, right after their 2004 high school graduation, calling him predictable. At the party that night, he learns via a song performed by the band that Fiona has been cheating on him with the lead singer, Donnie. Drunk and heartbroken, Scotty dismisses a sympathetic email from his German pen pal, Mika, mistakenly believing she's a man. His younger brother later reveals that Micah is actually a common German female name. Realising his mistake, Scotty tries to contact her, but she has already blocked him. Determined to make amends, he and his best friend, Cooper, set off for Europe to find her. Their misadventure begins in London, where they befriend a group of rowdy Manchester United soccer hooligans and wake up on a bus to Paris. There they meet their classmates, twins Jeannie and Jamie, who join their journey. In Amsterdam, Jamie is robbed, leaving them penniless. Attempting to hitchhike to Berlin, they mistakenly end up in Bratislava, where they take advantage of the strong US dollar before hitching a ride to Berlin. Upon arrival, they discover that Micah has already left for Rome. Desperate, Jamie sells his prized Leica camera to buy plane tickets. In Rome, they track Micah to Vatican City, where Scotty and Cooper accidentally ring the bell of San Marco, signalling the Pope's death, causing mass hysteria. Mistaken for the new Pope, Scotty finally spots Micah in the crowd and confesses his love. She happily reciprocates, and they share an intimate moment in a confession booth before she departs. On the flight home, Jenny and Cooper hook up, while Jamie stays in Europe after landing a job with Arthur Fromer's travel guides. Back in the US, Scotty moves to his dorm at Oberlin College, only to find Micah assigned as his roommate due to another name mix-up. The end. Roll credits. All right.
So as early 2000 teen sex comedy movies go, this one probably really should have disappeared into oblivion.
Well, it did.
No, it didn't.
Well, it did initially. It sort of came and went.
No, so
It did.
No, it didn't.
It did.
Well, it gained a cult following.
Well, that's more recent.
That's not disappearing into oblivion.
Well,
it gained a cult following. It actually got more steam. So it didn't do well in the cinemas.
No, the film bombed.
But it did really well on DVD and cable.
No, it didn't. Did it really?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, okay.
And is now and gained cult status. I was going to talk about why it gained cult status.
Mhm.
And I'd say it actually has to do with the surprise Matt Damon cameo. Do you know what a surprise Matt Damon cameo is?
Is that a
Jarrod?
thing now? Is that like...
It's a thing. It's
Okay.
definitely a thing.
Because he does pop up in films every now and again, doesn't
Yes.
he?
So I can name some roles in some movies that have surprise Matt Damon.
Can I say one? It's on there. Interstellar?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Thor Ragnarok's another one. He also did the same thing in, well, they kind of, so he also appeared again in the same role in Thor Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool 2. He gets killed. He's like a redneck talking about toilet paper.
Jeez, I cannot remember that. Wow. I remember Brad Pitt's cameo.
Yeah.
Probably the shortest cameo ever. It's like
Yeah.
a frame.
Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
And also, he was also in the Jane Silent Bob reboot.
Was that the... he was recreating the... Oh, no, he was playing himself in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
They were making that... What's that movie they made?
Oh, they're making
The sequel?
the sequel to
Goodwill
Hunt.
Yeah.
Goodwill Hunting 2. Them apples.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. And then, in the Silent Bob reboot, he was as Loki.
Yeah, so the recurring
Yeah.
character from, yeah.
And I'd even put Saving Private Ryan in there because
Yes, he was Ryan.
he's Private Ryan.
He is Ryan.
And he is probably only in it for about 5 minutes.
Oh, he gets a little bit more screen time than that, I think. The gift that always keeps on giving, you know. When people realise when something's 20 years old, they use that Matt Damon gif of him getting old.
Okay. But the other thing is he sings the song Scotty Doesn't Know. And now this song often comes up on best fake songs that exist. Like songs that only really exist in that universe as like as a hit song.
Yeah.
Can you think of some instances of these type of songs, Jarrod?
A fake song. Ooh. Not off the top of my head. Yeah, I've just drawn a blank on that one.
What if I just say, that thing you do?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doing that thing you
I guess so. It's pretty forgotten that one. Forgettable that one, though.
Everything is Awesome.
Yeah.
From the Lego movie.
Well, does that really count?
Yeah.
Because that's a song in the movie. It's not performed in the movie.
But it's a hit song in the movie.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Pop Goes My Heart. I see this one all the time from Music and Lyrics. It's like a Wham ripoff.
Actually, I just thought of one.
What?
Well, it's not really the song, but there's a few songs. The Planet of the Apes, the musical.
Yes. It was Earth all along.
For chimpanzee to chimpanzee. Oh, the horrible. They just got the real horrible writing up just to a T on that, you know. He can talk. I can sing.
I love you, Dr. Zayas.
Another classic one is probably from How I Met Your Mother. There's 3 I can name. So because Robin was a Canadian pop singer and she had one hit, which was called Let's Go to the Mall. And then she had a follow-up flop, which was called Sandcastles in the Sand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then later on, she had like a Alanis Morissette rip-off song called P.S. I Love You. But some other notable ones would probably be the Nightman from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And probably Smelly Cat from Friends.
Yeah, God. All right. What's the song that Penny sings to Sheldon?
That's a lullaby.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that a real lullaby?
Yeah, that was
okay.
a lullaby.
But okay, Scotty doesn't know.
But yeah, anyway, the popularity of that song, the band ended up releasing it on their 2006 album.
So some years later, yeah.
Like a number of years later because people wanted the whole song.
Hmm.
So why I don't like that hot tub scene is because it cuts into the musical number.
Okay.
Scotty doesn't know. With this horrible, creepy hot tub scene.
Cooper!
Hey, this isn't where I parked my car.
So can I add to the Scotty doesn't know lore? So
Yeah.
supposedly the song gained a little bit of popularity from a little site called MySpace.
Oh yeah.
So apparently a lot of people were using that as their background music that you could use on your page.
Yeah.
So apparently that sort of boosted the popularity of it, and then it somehow ended up on the radio. I did a bit of research on this. So it was the song that kind of rejuvenated interest into the film. The film had sort of been quickly forgotten. It came and went, and it was the song that kind of brought it back. Do you know who Scott Morrison is, Eddie?
I do know who Scott Morrison is.
Okay,
He's a former Prime Minister.
Former Prime Minister of Australia, the place we live in. So apparently his website, scottmorrison.com, there was a guy who was what do they call it, domain watching. So you can put bids on domain names, and if they run out and whoever owns it doesn't pay it, you can buy that domain name.
Ah, yeah.
So some guy put money on the scottmorrison.com website as a domain pledge, and they didn't pay it, so he got it. So he got it, and he put Scotty Doesn't Know playing on the website with a picture of Scott Morrison on it. Did you heard of this?
I have not heard.
I have not heard it. I just found this out today. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I had I had a boss named Scott. I can talk about him now.
Yep.
Dickhead Scott. And I had a very drunk work colleague that started singing Scotty Doesn't Know the whole thing word for word to him.
See, I don't even remember the song, to be honest. I don't, like, he started singing it. I'm like, can I hear the song? He started singing it straight away. I'm like, can I actually hear the song? I don't remember it, to be honest. And I don't remember ever being in the zeitgeist, or maybe it was referenced. I didn't realize what it was from, but yeah, it was right over my head, that one. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
No, it's what always sticks out when I think of this movie. I remember absolutely pissing myself laughing the first time I saw that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they bring it back later as like when they're in the Bratislavian
nightclub.
Yeah. They bring back it as like a Eurotrash version of it. Yeah.
It's a funny reoccurring joke.
Yeah.
One of at least 3 or 4 funny jokes in this actual film.
There are some great funny jokes that are very original.
Like the robot guy one, I'm like, oh my God. I was rolling my eyes at the robot guy. I'm like, oh, fuck, how long is this going to go on for? This is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I realize, I'm like, we got to that scene and you were done. You seem to be absolutely done with the movie. You're like, fuck, this is boring.
Yeah, the few funny moments, like I said, the soccer hooligans was, I reckon that's like the best part. Them being in Europe and finding out the currency, how good the currency exchange is.
Yeah, the Bratislavian thing when they've like got a handful of change.
Yeah, like $1 something American. What can that get us? And you see a whole concierge of guys coming out with gloves. Oh, here you go. Here's your food. And he gives the guy a nickel. He's like, oh, fuck this. I'm out of here, mate.
Yeah, I'll start my own hotel. Probably also the siblings, the twins kissing. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't think that was that funny. I was like, oh, okay, great. I was actually thinking, when are they going to kiss? I was thinking the whole time. So when are these two going to kiss? Yeah, when's that going to happen?
Oh, there's also where they're where they think they're eating space cakes or hash brownies. And they pretty much eat a whole plate of brownies. And there's one thing that you need to know about those brownies. Never eat a whole one.
I doubt that people would actually give them a whole plate of brownies. Like that would be kind of irresponsible on their behalf. But giving a whole table and 5 bottles of bloody vodka. Here you go, guys, drink up.
Yeah.
Knock yourselves out.
Yes.
You're listening to Nerd Subculture.
So, we'll talk about the cast of characters. Look, I can talk about we've sort of talked about
the characters are so forgettable too.
The
so
main
bland.
characters. The main characters are really bland. The main character Scotty is very dull, very boring. Cooper is just a creep, and I can't even remember the name. Like, all I know is Jenny
And James.
Jenny and James.
Yeah, the twins, yeah.
Like, you totally forget who they are. Like, it's like they're very
Yeah. And I
boring.
want to compare this to, say, Road Trip, right? So I said I was going to bring it up. So let's do the comparison, because every time I kept thinking of this movie, I kept thinking of Road Trip. And just the comparison from that film to this film. So let's go with the cast, all right? So I can't remember all the names. It said Breckenmeyer, what's his name? Stifler. Still gets to this day. He'll always be Stifler. There was the other guy who was kind of the stoner.
Tom Green.
Yeah, Tom Green, yeah, it wasn't really. I'm talking about the four core.
Okay.
Tom Green was sort of coming
He's
in and out of
the
it. All of Tom
narrator.
Green's scenes are just gold. It's when Tom Green was like really funny.
Yeah.
Every scene with him in is just gold. So then you had the other guy from The Expanse, I forget his name, and then there was the other guy who was in Breaking Bad, the really weird looking guy. And so they're quite memorable characters. They're all quite different people, and you can sort of distinguish between them all. So I just call him the Breaking Bad guy. He's sort of the nervous, nerdy guy, and
You mean Garth? Sorry, he's isn't probably more famous for being in Supernatural.
the creepy, the sort of weird looking
he's
guy.
He's kind of weird.
Yeah, he's got a weird look to him.
Yeah.
I'll call him Garth then. So you have his character, and you got Stifler's character who's overconfident, kind of similar to the Cooper character, but I think a lot funnier. Breckenmeyer is like the reserved conservative sort of character. He's the main protagonist that you're sort of seeing the film through. And then you've got the other guy who's a doctor, and he's a big weed smoker, although they don't really lean into it much. So comparing the cast, like, it's just not even close to the characters in those two.
No.
All
So
right?
I feel like they went with big name core actors.
Yeah.
And then Eurotrip have gone with like lots of bigger
more the
name.
cameos.
Yeah, so they've just got these fairly no-name actors to be in the lead roles. And then sort of maybe put more of their money into these cameos instead.
I'm not sure if they even got paid much for those cameos. I'm not sure if Matt Damon did. I think he was a friend of the writers or something, so they just dragged him in. All right, so we got the cast, all right? And then I've got the actual story of the film itself. So in Road Trip, he accidentally sends a video of him having sex with another girl to his long-term girlfriend. So they've got to go to the other side of the country and intercept it. In this film, he liked this German person that he thought was a guy, and then realized it was a girl, and then was in love with her.
Yeah.
The whole premise for that was just really weak and didn't really make a lot of sense. That he needed to fly over there to speak to her.
Yeah.
Especially in the early days of internet, like, he saw one picture of her, like, picture's really her, could be someone else, she could really still be a dude, you don't know.
Yeah.
So that didn't really make much sense. Now, you want to talk about the soundtrack. I know you're going to go about Scotty Doesn't Know, but we've got the Eels in Road Trip. We've got Ween singing a song in there as well. We've got a couple of big bands in there. So I reckon the soundtrack, I don't know, leaning a bit towards Road Trip.
Yeah, but I feel like you're comparing apples to oranges there.
Well,
like it's
I don't know.
It's not the same movie. Like, it's not the same budget. It's like a whole different style that they've gone with.
Well, it's the journey to achieve MacGuffin with your friends in a foreign area. They go to weird places, meet weird characters. It's similar, okay? It's easy to get them confused. I mean, I was watching the trailer for Eurotrip, and it even says, from the producers of Road Trip, of the people who produced Road Trip. Mind you, there's like 11 guys. Mind you, there's like 11 guys who produced Road Trips. So maybe one guy did it.
I kind of feel like a lot of the scenes are almost skits. Like a lot of the scenes are set up as skits throughout the movie.
In Eurotrip, and there's probably a reason for that, because a lot of the writers are from like Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, more TV writers for Road Trip, Eurotrip.
Yeah. So as I said, I feel like this movie didn't have a huge budget, but I feel like they got in these cameos instead of putting money into big name actors for the main characters. But when talking about who cameos in this movie, you've got Kristen Curick. I can never pronounce her last name. So she's the girlfriend, the one that's cheating on her.
Fiona, yeah. Who's she?
She was in Smallville.
Is that really a cameo? I don't even know who the fuck she is.
She's got a little bit of a career now. Like, I can't really think of anything. I think she's done a bit of TV and whatnot. She's,
Okay. All right. Next.
Fred Armisen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
As the creepy Italian guy.
Yeah. Again, that scene was just I didn't think that was funny. It went on for way too long.
It went on for a bit too long,
and it wasn't funny to begin with.
Like a Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lucy Lawless as Madame Vander Sex.
Vander Sex. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, probably one of the funniest scenes in that is the safe word that he can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Because it's in Dutch.
Why just use a kuda matata?
Vinnie Jones as Mad Maynard.
Oh, he was great. He was really popular at the time. He made a lot of Guy Pearce films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Snatch. And
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Guy Pearce.
You mean
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie.
I don't remember him being in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but it'd be funny to see.
I didn't know Guy Pearce actually was a director.
It would be funny to see Vinnie Jones in Priscilla in a frock. Yeah. No?
Yeah, like he does one thing really good, and this was a good role for highlighting that.
Yeah, because he actually was a soccer player.
Yeah.
He didn't play for Manchester United, and he absolutely hates the team. So shows what a great actor he is. So he hasn't done much in recent years, but yeah, the early 2000s was his prime time. Gone in 60 Seconds, and yeah, the Snatch. There's a few films he did back then. Mean Machine, have you ever seen that one? The prison one. So,
but normally where he plays a very rough guy character.
Just got the stereotypical soccer hooligan look to him, hasn't he?
Yes.
Just fitted right in. He wasn't even acting in that. He was
not even acting.
Telling those French to go fuck themselves. That wasn't in the script. Oh, fuck it. We'll leave it in.
Southern Road, you snail-eating puss! Fuck off! Go on, you Gaelic fucking garlic breath tossers! Piss off! Get in here and say that, you froggy-eyed shite eyes!
Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor from Arrested Development, and
who's that?
He was Scott's dad. He
sort of
has that very weird, dry humour.
Yeah, and he looks exactly the same, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, remember he's in the Larry Sanders Show. He was the
sidekick.
Yes.
The Dr. Phil guy.
Yes, the Dr. Phil guy. Dietrich Bader was the mugger in Paris. He's from the Drew Carey Show and.
Oh yeah, Office Space. Yeah.
Yeah, and Office Space.
Yeah, I actually just watched the scene that it just cracks me up every time. They're in their house and the main character, Peter, says to the guy, "Hey man, does anyone ever say you got a bad case of the Mondays?" And he's like, "What? Nah, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something stupid like that." Well, no, man. The hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, I'll probably also just mention Joanne Lumley, but I think her scene was cut out, so she's only in the
Who's she?
Patsy.
Oh, Sweetie Darling.
Sweetie Darling. Yeah, she's like a owner of an Amsterdam hostel, and she's just reading out at the end credit scene. But in the X-rated version, they've got the full scene. But yeah, she goes on. Yeah, but it's one of those places that has a million rules.
Okay. Funny, just mentioning the deleted scenes. It's not a deleted scene, but apparently the sex scene that they were going to do in Amsterdam, it was referred to as the Anne Frank scene. In the scene never filmed, but available in the script and original DVD, they claim Cooper finds a flyer for a sex club called The Secret Room and accidentally misidentifies the house of Anne Frank as the club. He asks somebody, "Is this the secret room?" And they go, "Yes, it is. It will change your life," someone recalled. Encountering a big line outside, Cooper assumes he has found the correct place, but instead of waiting, he goes through a back door. Once he discovers a small room with a small bed, he decides to get naked and wait for a sex worker. But soon finds himself exposed in front of a tour group. To make matters worse, Anne Frank's only living relative was part of the tour group. And if that wasn't enough to horrify the studio, the scene also had Cooper reaching for a small mannequin modelled after you-know-who and covering his private parts, resulting in an unintended sexually explicit visual for the group. The producers wrote the club Vandersex to replace it with that one. Wow. Now, I think that would have been a hell of a scene to leave in the film. I mean, I'm just thinking... You know, is that bad? Could you have left that in there?
I don't think you could.
No?
No,
No,
I
you
don't
can't?
think you could. I think it's when it comes to Anne Frank, yeah, it's a
Well-
tricky area.
Well, can we talk about political correctness and what you could do now and couldn't do? Did then, what you do now, and what's politically incorrect now? Because I'm thinking of the kid running around doing the goose step Nazi
Well,
salute.
that got banned, or cut from some versions of the movie.
I mean, I didn't really find it funny at all, to be honest. I mean, usually I laugh my ass at that shit, but it just seemed completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And you're actually illegal to do in Victoria now, or Australia, if you do a Nazi salute, that's jail time or something like that. So that's definitely you couldn't do that now, you think?
Absolutely not.
No?
Yeah, you cannot do the goose step thing at all.
No. And also, I noticed the gratuitous nudity in this movie. I know we've spoken about that before, but there was a lot of it. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's a lot of boobies in this movie.
Yes.
A lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe movies do it and I don't notice.
No, they don't. So they don't make comedies anymore, Jarrod.
Yeah.
Like, what is a movie in the past?
Well, the first thing comes to mind is like, Deadpool movies, but it's
You don't see boobs.
no, don't see boobs. No, you see like heads explode though. It's funny. Sex is like regressed a little bit. Like we're too afraid of sex, but violence we're like, oh geez, that's fine, man. You can blow as many holes in your head as you want.
To be honest,
don't
I
you dare
think
show a pair of boobies.
I think it's perhaps more due to the fact that there are so many things that now, if they do show nudity, there's probably about 1 million contracts that it's probably just not as easy as you think it would be.
Yeah. I mean, even our Road Trip had like lots of boobies in it too. But they did it in a slightly different way. They were being a little meta about it because in the film it's Tom Green's character retelling the story, and he's telling the story when the girls are in the locker room and changing, and they do cut to the cast to the tour group that he's talking to, like, hey, were the girls walking around topless? He's like, yeah, of course they were, and then when he's retelling the story, the camera even just zooms up on the girl's breasts for a second, because it's from the perspective of him. He's the perv. So I think that's funny. I think you can do that. But when you've just got girls just walking around like shaking their chests, it's kind of a little distasteful. Yeah,
kind of like in, I think, Not Another Teen Movie. They kind of make the joke of the exchange, like the foreign exchange student constantly walks around naked.
Oh, isn't it the joke that she thinks it's normal? Like, is I'm going to tell her? Is that the joke? Something like that?
No. That's just what she does. She just walks around naked.
The foreign exchange.
And she just has a backpack on, and then they go to a party and there's another foreign exchange student, and she gets upset because they're wearing the same backpack.
God. Oh, dear. What else do you think wouldn't fly? Maybe that's Miss Scusi. I mean, that's not really... making fun of sexual assault a little bit, that scene. That's probably why I didn't find it funny. I'm like, okay, he's just molesting these people. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be able to put the Amsterdam, the
bondage scene?
Yeah, the bondage scene.
Okay, that was a replace the Anne Frank scene. Jesus Christ. What are they going to do in Amsterdam now? Go get a coffee.
Go to the... Just
one word of advice. Don't drink the coffee. It's shit.
The coffee in those coffee shops is not very good.
No.
This is the best thing that could have happened to us. We're in Amsterdam. This is the drug and sex capital of Europe.
Something I just wanted to mention too. So what guy in his 20s reads Jackie Collins books?
Yeah, I don't even know who would.
Jackie Collins, the novelist.
Yeah, I know who Jackie Collins. But I don't know anyone that's read a Jackie Collins book in.
So a guy in his 20s reading
not.
a Jackie Collins books?
No, but isn't he he's kind of a weird guy anyway?
Yeah, so. I guess. I thought that was probably out of all the weird things
honestly,
in the film, that was strangest.
I think they just grabbed a book, any book. They didn't actually
read it.
Read
the cover.
Read what the cover was, and that just handed it to him as a prop.
Yeah. Here you go.
Here you go.
Read this.
Pretend to read this.
Okay. All right.
What I was going to say, like, I know you've liked to compare this movie to Road Trip and Harold and Kumar.
I didn't mention Harold.
Well, Well, they're both sort of along the same, similar lines on, there's a journey and they meet a bunch of good characters
But I never
along the
said
way.
that.
But I do feel that Eurotrip leans more into the absurd.
Oh, it does, yeah.
But I also think it's also slightly cartoonish. Like it's definitely got more slapstick and...
Yeah, I guess I agree with that, yeah.
Now, we sort of haven't done our normal little subcategories or whatnot, but I'm like, what do we get? Like when I looked at themes and metaphors, I'm like, yeah, this movie is just not that deep.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go.
I think it's everything's very surface level. Probably the one thing you could say, it does really play into the American stereotype of Americans traveling, American tourists. Like
the ignorance of like the whole of
Europe.
The
naivety.
Everything is just you cross the road, a 5-minute walk away. It's 10 minutes, dickheads.
Yep.
I definitely see that.
But yeah, so I was trying to find something to say on the topic. And that was pretty much maybe freedom and exploration. Like the film romanticizes travel as a transformative experience, even if it's, through ridiculous situations.
Well, I suppose it does have a slight coming of age thing to it.
Yeah.
They've just finished high school. They're experiencing the world. Even though it's not really done, the purpose wasn't to do that. The purpose was to go see a girl in Germany.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, like many road trip movies, it does emphasize the bonds of friendship through shared, absurd experiences.
It's the friends you make on the way.
Yeah.
Maybe we were Eurotrip the whole time long, Eddie. We were Eurotrip.
Yeah. And the visual aesthetic and tone, again, is just... They had no budget. It was very low budget.
But at least they filmed in Prague or Prague.
Well, the fact that they filmed in Prague, but they don't ever go to Prague.
They do this. They filmed in the square, I think, briefly. But yeah, again.
But they don't. What I mean is on the Euro trip, on the actual trip that they take, they never go to Prague. But they filmed in Prague. Doesn't make any sense.
That's because the locals there are quite difficult. I keep reading every now and again the worst sort of people to meet when traveling, and I had to sort of agree with it. It wasn't number one, but it was up there, and I felt Czech people were quite fucking rude.
They had no customer service.
It was very lacking. I felt like sometimes I just walk into a shop and I'm like, as soon as I walk in the door, a guy just looks up and goes, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah.
Do you want a pack of fags? You are a fucking pack of fags. Get the fuck out.
You're putting them out by your presence.
And I thought, and it happened a few times. I remember going to a stall in that square and and I try to order something. And I don't just I hate just, speaking English to someone. It seems kind of arrogant, But I say, do you speak English? And, and I said that to the lady and she's like in the stall looking down at me.
No.
This sort of like short-haired, glasses, sort of bird-looking lady. I'm like, do you speak English? She's like, no. And just sort of looked side to side as if I just disappeared and wasn't there anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. Sie sprechen Deutsch? Woman behind is like, oh, yes, with a big smile. And, oh, yes, mach eines, it's fine, super bitter, And, had a lot of those interactions. And I remember speaking to a guy at the hotel we're staying in, who was an American guy. And I said that, and he's like, oh, yeah, man, there's got a big fucking stick up their ass sometimes. So he didn't say that, but yeah. I thought it was just me. I don't know, maybe it's because the former Soviet sort of state, everyone's miserable in those countries. And what the fuck do you want, Don't fucking smile at me.
Yeah. And the other thing is that, the train that they're on, I'm like, I wish the fucking trains looked like that through Europe. We had a horrible time on trains through Europe, so...
I took the smoking train to Berlin. I thought, they'll probably have a smoking booth or something. You go to smoking. No, just sit in your seat and just spark one up, mate. Just fucking right next to everyone. Oh, okay. I kind of lit one up. And I'm cautiously fuck, I'm just smoking in a train here, in my seat. What the fuck's wrong with these people? Yeah, and I felt bad doing it because the smoke was just staying in there. I'm like, fucking people used to do this shit all the time. I've grown up in a world where smoking's less and less, but I was just smoking in his cabin, just breathing in all my fucking secondhand smoke. I'm like, Jesus, I feel like the biggest cunt. It's like it's guilting you to quit smoking because you realize what you're doing to everyone in there. There's kids crying, and you're like. Oh.
Sort of forget once upon a time you could smoke on planes.
Oh, God, I remember that. I briefly remember that. And sometimes you get on a fucking plane, it's still got an ashtray, and you're like, oh shit, how fucking old is this fucking plane? Oh my God.
Yeah.
This plane must be fucking older than me. That's what you don't want to see.
Well, that's all I've really got to say.
Well, I've got plenty to say.
I mean, what else did you want to say?
Actually, I want to talk about the Pope a little bit.
Oh, you want to talk about the Pope scene?
Not really the Pope scene, just the Pope in general. Because this film came out in 2004, so Pope, you remember Pope John II? He was obviously your first Pope, you know.
Yeah.
It just seemed like that guy was always the Pope, you know. And it
Yeah.
seems like now, like they change popes every time there's a new season of Stranger Things these days, you know. Like we're just fucking going through them every 5 years.
Well, they keep getting these guys that are really old.
But I was like, how old was he when he was a Pope? He was like 58, and he was like the youngest Pope in like nearly 100 years. Yeah, so each Pope they keep electing is like in their 70s, so they've probably got like 10 good years left. We've got the current Pope at the moment who's possibly on his deathbed.
Yeah, he's
They're being very coy about it, saying he's got pneumonia, and I don't think he's been seen in public for some time. And
yeah, they're pretty much weekend at burning him at the moment.
God, which they keep doing. They did with John Paul II. Oh, he was in such bad health towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that's when I reckon, had this film come out a few years earlier, some of those jokes about the smoke wouldn't have. A lot of people probably wouldn't have got, because they didn't know what the tradition is of when they're electing a new pope. You see black smoke means they're deciding for a new pope. When you see white smoke, they've got a new pope. And do you know what you have to do to be a pope, Eddie? Would you like to know if you want to be a pope?
I
can tell you.
care.
First thing, you got to be Catholic.
Uh-huh.
You Catholic?
Well, no.
No. Okay, that's what I thought. Are you a male?
Well, my dad was Catholic.
Okay. Male?
What? No, I don't have a penis.
All right. So first thing you got to be is Catholic. Then you got to be a male. Then you got to be a priest. And then you got to be after priest. You got to be a bishop. So also with being a priest, you don't just go online and click ordain me. You actually got to go to college and get your masters of theology and religious studies. Then you get to be a priest. So you get to look after a church, or maybe run a church with another priest. Then you got to be a bishop. To be a bishop, you got to be over the age of 35. You're picked by another bishop. Hopefully, a bishop goes above you or dies. Then you get picked as a bishop. Then you got to be a cardinal. Cardinals are very similar to bishops, but they're sort of part of the sect that hangs around the Vatican. And then once you get to be a cardinal, then you have to wait for the Pope to retire or die, which usually is die.
They're not allowed to retire.
The Benedict guy retired.
Oh, so
yeah.
they
you can, yeah.
So they changed that rule.
No, it's always been there. No, you can retire. It's like
okay.
Out of like all the popes ever, like 97% have died, 3% have retired. So it's very rare. It does happen. And then you can be Pope.
Yeah, I thought it was like the Queen. Like you don't get to.
No, they have the cardinals will pick one of their own. So they'll spend like a few weeks up to 3 years picking a new Pope. Apparently, that's taken that long. So, and they'll pick one of their own.
Okay.
Always. Yeah, you're not born into it. You can't run for it, Pope. Like you can't like just be a rich guy with a reality TV show and just become a Pope. Doesn't work that way. Really got to work your way through the ranks in that one.
Okay.
So what are we going to do? Question time, Eddie?
Let's move into question time.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
All right. First question, Eddie. Which character was your favourite?
Probably Scott's little brother, who we haven't really spoken about.
Okay.
I think he's a bit underrated.
I completely forgot about him until you mentioned him.
Well, all the characters in this movie are absolutely terrible, except probably Jenny's probably the better one. Actually, I'll go with Donnie.
Donnie?
I'll change it. Yeah.
Okay, Donnie. Wrong answer, Eddie. The correct answer was Mad Maynard, played by Vinnie Jones. Really ignited some life into this film as soon as he's on screen. That from start to end, every frame he's on is like igniting so much charisma through. Loved every moment. He should get his own spin-off film. Absolutely. All right, next question, Eddie. LOL moment. It's a hard one in a comedy.
Oh, this is a hard one for a comedy. Oh, probably just the Don't Tell Scotty song.
Don't Tell Scotty.
But then also when it gets turned into the Eurotrash version in the movie.
Well, I'm just going to repeat again. Mad Maynard, yelling at French people. They chase that guy down the street. Hey, look at that French guy. Let's go get him. Just God, it's a funny thing with those hooligans. Like there's those guys that go over. Sometimes those guys are like judges and fucking lawyers and shit. It's like they just release their inner beast when they get into like soccer hooligan mode and go out there and just fucking trash the place.
Yeah.
Really, these upper class white collar jobs, you know, they'd have during the day, and then just turn into these vicious beasts as soon as the soccer's on. It's amazing. Most iconic or favorite scene? Well, I guess it's
obvious for me.
Yeah, Scotty don't know.
Scotty doesn't know, and
Yeah.
the surprise Matt Damon cameo.
Yeah, definitely that. Most iconic or favorite quote?
Has to be. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
I'm going to say that. Well, actually,
Don't tell Scotty.
I did like the recurring joke of this isn't where I parked my car.
I do also like Jenny's line of I'm a girl. Every time, like that's what I just remembered another thing that they couldn't get away with. She's talking about going on a boat with a French guy or something like that, and he's like, Cooper says, "Sounds kind of gay."
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you can't get away with using that term anymore.
That's fucking gay. All right. Who gets the wooden spoon?
Well, Scotty, because he doesn't know.
Yeah, Scotty don't know.
And then he jumps on a plane and goes to Europe with
It's such a wafer thin plot line, isn't it? Like it doesn't even make sense. Like he's known this person, then suddenly needs to fly over there. Like why? I couldn't. I thought I missed something.
Yeah, I haven't even mentioned one of the other really funny jokes is that Cooper is also doing an internship, and he just keeps getting on the phone and telling him that he gave it to Jenkins.
Oh yeah, there's that recurring joke, and when
Yeah.
he gets back, Jenkins got fired.
Jenkins got fired.
That was pretty funny. That
Yeah.
one actually, I do like that recurring.
So
Some of the recurring jokes aren't too bad. You could,
yeah, so maybe Jenkins.
Jenkins. Fuck you, Jenkins.
All
right, who gets the Oscar? Well,
we'll give it to Michelle.
I gave it to Michelle. Yeah,
I gave it to
honorary.
Michelle. Honorary
posthumous-
Oscar.
What do you call it?
Post-Thomas. Yeah.
Posthumous. Prost Thomas. Prothemius.
Hominius.
Post Thomas. Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
can't say it.
Posthumous.
Posthumous.
Posthumous, isn't it? Posthumous?
I don't know. I
right.
cannot pronounce it, Jarrod.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, for her, it's sweet. She deserves it, I think.
Yeah. Well, she was probably, out of the 4 main cast members, she was probably the biggest name.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know what the other guys are.
Yeah.
All right. Final question, Eddie. What do you rate this movie out of 10 using something from the movie?
All right. I rate it 7 out of 10 surprise Matt Damon cameos.
I gave it 4 green fairies.
4 green fairies.
Now, you know that's bullshit, the whole fucking absinthe thing.
Yes, I know.
Everyone
about
says
that
it's the
absinthe.
wormwood that makes you cut your ear off. It's just alcohol. You just get drunk from it. That's all.
Well, it's more the fact that the alcohol counteracts the wormwood poison. So, but they don't actually make it out of wormwood anymore.
Well, the wormwood thing's bullshit.
No, they literally do not make it out of wormwood anymore.
All right, Eddie. Well, I think we're done. Is there anything else you wanted to add in last minute? I think I'm pretty satisfied with this review. I think I've said everything I need to say, and more. I've pissed on the Pope. I've pissed on the Czechs. I've made so many enemies tonight, Eddie.
Yes. So what it comes down to is Jarrod hates the movie and I love the movie.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
well, I think that is the thing about this movie is that you either love it or you hate it. I don't think it. I don't think it has a
hate's
middle.
such a
I don't think it has a
strong word.
middle ground.
Yeah, hate's a strong word, but yeah.
But
I just didn't
you
like
managed
it.
to at least you at least found something that you did like about this.
Oh yeah,
There are scenes,
it is but
and as I said before, the best way to describe this is it is a bunch of sketches.
yeah, pretty much. All right. On that note, Eddie. So back to Buffy next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Back to Buffy.
We'll be
All
back
right.
to Buffy.
Back to Buffy next week. Gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the end of the podcast. So you can probably just stop listening now. But just get this just for a little while longer because if you like what you hear, Eddie's got something very important to tell you. What have you got to say to
Well,
Eddie?
you can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. There is a Facebook page, and if you want to help us out, follow the link trees on the social to the merch store. Also, subscribe to our podcast.
Like, share, subscribe.
What is it? Subscribe, follow. Write us a little review.
Write us an angry letter about how it just pissed off half of Europe. So, sorry about that. Not sorry. Anyway, till next time.
Okay.
We'll see ya. Bye.
Southern Road, you snail-eating puss! Fuck off! Go on, you Gaelic fucking garlic breath tossers! Pissed off! Get in here and say that, you froggy-eyed shite eyes!